Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Fred here, back at it again. Gonna go over some things with, trying to get back into the groove of things. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that kind of, threw us off track a little bit. So I'm gonna touch base on some of it. We'll call this video called Welcome Back, okay? So we're gonna bring back the routine, bring back some of these things that that threw us off balance here. We got the gyms that will be going and opening up very, very soon. So you want to make sure you're ready. Everybody's real eager to get right up into the gym and to get to start knocking these weights out and hitting the cardio and trying to look best for summer, or try to catch up for summer, right? But there's a lot, right? We were a little bit backtrack. I mean, me, myself, I'm withering away. I know how it feels. But I was fortunate enough to rent out some space and get some workouts while I can, but it's still not up to par to what I need to do to keep up with my routine, right? Or to keep up with the maintenance, shall we say. But going somewhere is better than going nowhere, period, okay? So going with the welcome back theme, I want to touch base on a couple things. Like in the last video, we talked about, some of the genetics. I hope you guys address those, figuring out your genetics. And if you guys have any more questions in regards to your genetics, feel free to go ahead and DM me, and I'll answer them the best way that I can. We have a lot of questions going in, so I'll try to get back with you in a timely manner, okay? I will get back with you, so just give me a little bit, I will. But, address those genetics, and in the first video, make sure you go back and watch that, especially before you start your fitness journey correlating to this video, okay? So the next step is to for two dividing groups: the existing and the first comers, okay? Existing, like I said, just like me, we're getting back into it, and we kind of want to touch base on how hard should we go, right? Like, what do we do when we go back? Like, should I start off easy, or do I start off by hitting the weights like really, really heavy, or do I start with the cardio real heavy? Do I go back into the grind, super, at a 150% achievable status? Like, we don't know. Like, what's the balance, right? So I just want to touch base on that with some of you guys. Well, I would think the best way to answer that would be, take your time going back in, right? We're going to enjoy, the fact that we can get back in there, right? But we don't want to overdo it. Like, I know you hear me talk about, a lot's, that's not enough. You're not doing enough of this. You're not doing enough of that. But at this point, with being outside the gym for this is mainly for some of the extreme athletes that, been deadlifting hundreds of pounds and squatting hundreds of pounds and, bench pressing hundreds of pounds and things like that. We're used to the bands and things like that, and the little bit of weight that we got at home, and calisthenics, hitting a lot of them push-ups. I know y'all see me out there, had 1,000 of them. But you kind of want to make sure you take it easy, okay? Because you could really, really, really damage some things, and then guess what? You're back to square one, and you cannot train after that. That would suck. You finally get off the head start, get off to a good head start, and boom, you blow a tire, right? That would suck tremendously. So be smart, take your time, go back in, and whatever weight that you were used to lifting with, all that's irrelevant. Whoever you are and your status as to how much you can lift and all that, check your ego at the door. Check it at the door. It is not a competition. These things, we got to get back into the groove, So it's important that we can stay healthy and being able to go back into the game, okay? So again, welcome back. We want to make sure that everybody's healthy and stays healthy. So ease your way back in there. You should go by how you feel. Go by how your muscles feel. Go by how your joints feel. If it hurts, put it down. Don't do that exercise. If you got legs and leg day and you got squats or what have you, and you don't know what to do, and you go in there and it starts to hurt when you squat, change it up. Go do leg press, go do something, just get back into the game, I'm not saying that it won't come back, because it will. Muscle memory will always win, especially those that's been on the grind for 20 something years, 30 something years, whatever, 10 years, 5 years, doesn't matter. So just make sure that you take it easy. Can't stress that enough. Okay, stay healthy. And for those that are on this, I have to lose this weight super fast, right? Do not go so extreme. Do not go so extreme with your diet. Do not go so extreme with the cardio and things like that. We got heat coming. I know y'all didn't stay hydrated. Y'all damn sure ain't gonna stay hydrated enough to do those extreme diets for the keto and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? So let's cover the need basis first. Hydration, supplementation, lots of rest, and recovery. That's what we're gonna focus on, especially when we're getting back into the gym. Because if you're not focused on the recovery point aspect and not taking care of the body, again, back to square one. You're gonna be hurting, you're gonna damage something, it's not gonna be good. Some of you, I've seen people that ended up in the hospital just because they wanted to diet so hardcore and get on these keto diets, especially the women, and they end up plateauing and end up dehydrated and got to be rushed to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? They end up fainting. And and it's not good. So make sure that you get a good balanced diet. Get your necessities in. You should have the two things for supplementation for me, especially for when it comes down to athletes. One, you got to have BCAAs. That's huge. What kind of BCAAs? Amino acids and BCAAs, like what's the difference? I'm gonna touch base on that a little bit. BCAAs, okay, when you see the BCAA on it, when you're in the supplement stores, that's branched chain amino acids. Those are the three that have to do with muscle recovery, okay? So that's going to be, not saying all the other ones are not, but these are the main ones that help with muscle recovery. So that's gonna be leucine, isoleucine, and valine, okay? So make sure that those are the three that you really wanna cover, especially for the recovery aspect. When you go to the amino acid profile, it's good to have those good amino acids. When it says amino acid on the bottle, instead of the BCAA, when you just see amino acids, there is a difference. It has those BCAAs in it, which is isoleucine, leucine, and valine, but they're not gonna have enough per serving to give you the recommended dosage that I would, that I would like to see people taking, or to consume to recover properly. So it's really huge. My favorite branch chains of all time, and it's really hard to come by still, these guys right here. These guys right here. Why? Because you still get 15 grams per serving, and you still get 30 servings per container. Can't beat that. 29 bucks, Amazon. Look it up. And compare that to some of your amino acids now. You'll notice that you're not going to come close to the amount that you're getting per serving. And some of you are paying more than that, so it's like, what are you really getting, right? So branch chains, huge thing. Next thing, protein. There's a big dilemma about protein. Should I take extra protein? Is it going to make me gain weight and this and that? That's a whole nother conversation that I will have in a whole nother video when it comes to nutrition and geared towards your actual workout. But everybody needs protein. Okay, understanding that protein is a different calorie than your carbohydrates, right? My favorite protein, right here. My favorite protein. Why? Because it's got enough. It's got enough of everything right here for me. And if you read in the ingredient profile list will say whey protein isolate first, or hydrolyzed whey protein isolate first in the ingredient profile. Now, when it says whey protein concentrate first, it's no good. I won't say it's not good. It's better than nothing, but you're going to be wasting half of that coming out your other end, and that's not good, especially with some of you being lactose intolerant. That's the worst, and plant-based protein is really good too. I really do like plant-based protein, but these guys right here, the Pro Complex, they have enough for the recovery aspect. It's really hard to find something that's going to have all the essentials of, 30 grams of protein, 7.5 of BCAAs, and you got to have that glutamine. 5 grams, 5 grams of glutamine. It's really huge for that after workout to reduce that lactic acid. Lactic acid is that buildup that makes you sore, especially the next day. gets in your muscles, gets in your joints. You don't want to move out of bed. You know, you raise your arm to grab that steering wheel when you're trying to drive to work, and it's really hard to hold it up, right? Yeah, it's difficult, but that lactic acid buildup, man, it'll get you. It'll keep you out of the game maybe for the next workout. So it's very important to have within your protein shake. So I like them because they are a little expensive, but again, I'm covering 3 aspects in one shake. So that's really huge. So that is just the recovery process, or the recovery supplementation that I would like everybody to make sure that they have on deck, especially when they're going to start bringing in this hot weather, and to make sure that everybody stays balanced in recovery, or recovering properly, okay? Now, another thing that I want to touch base on is what kind of workouts and what kind of gyms, okay? Your workout should include getting back into the game and making sure that, you know, you're at least, I would say, go 50% of what you used to, and just start to push the body and pay attention to your body again, okay? While you're in there, again, I can't stress that enough. Pay attention to your body while you're lifting. Some of you may be able to, you know, get back into the game really quickly. And some of you, I mean, depending on what the situation was, what habits you picked up during COVID-19, will, you know, whether if you exercise or not. And for those of you that hit the cardio while we were in COVID-19, you couldn't do it, or you couldn't hit the weight, so you hit the cardio, right? You guys will definitely be able to recover and get back on routine a lot quicker than those other guys that, you know, or other, you know, ladies and gentlemen that didn't do anything. Well, if they didn't do anything during this whole time, it's going to be very difficult for you when that heart rate gets way up there and your muscles are starving for that oxygen and those veins haven't opened up in a while to create that blood flow. Some of you are going to throw up, some of you are going to be going through it, and it's going to suck. It's going to suck bad, but that's okay. You know, you just got to grind it out. But the workouts, you know, you should be able to listen to your body and make sure that you go back to what you were doing. So calisthenics and things like that, still continue to do calisthenics, continue to do your cardio. But as you start to hit these weights, just really, really take it easy. No power lifting, none of that stuff, none of that craziness if you have not been into that stuff, or none of the heavy weights like some of you all-stars that like to, you know, knock those records out the park. Take your time on that. You know, really, really take your time on that. So check your ego at the door again. Now, the type of gyms. Now, this is more so, especially for the first timers. You know, you're just starting your fitness journey and not sure what gym to check out, and it's real confusing, right? Because gyms are a business, and you want to make sure you choose the right business, right? That's, you know, wholeheartedly for you, and they actually take care of your people. So, you know, there's a couple gyms that I like to go and visit quite often. My home gym right now is always and always will be Maximus Fitness. Always. Why? Because that's where all this started from. If it wasn't for Maximus Fitness, I would not be, honestly, I honestly wouldn't have been, I don't know where I'd been. I mean, I've been with Maximus Fitness since I graduated high school. You know, John and Sarah, they're the original owners, and, you know, God bless those people. You know, they helped me out quite a bit. I love them. I love everybody that goes to that gym too, because they encourage people, uplifting. They show some great leadership, especially towards guidance and creating that balance for some of these people. They find ways, just like I do, when it comes to those people working the 9-to-5 single moms or dads, that hard to find time and got to have that structure put into place. They are really good at that. So check them out. You know, Maximus, they're over in Granville now. So, you know, when you get a chance, check them out. My second gym that I like to go to is the Endurance Fitness. The Endurance Fitness over there by 60th Street in Kentwood. I really like going there. One, I like it because sometimes I like to have that low-key moment. Step in there real quick, get my workout done, and you know, the owner there, he does a tremendous job with making sure that he has these supplements on hand. He's done an amazing job with, you know, connecting with me every time I go there, he always asks me, what do you need? What do you need? You know, and he's amazing. I'll post in the description or in the comment section below on some of these, some more information on, you know, how to get and join their gym and things like that. I know that right now they're not up and running, but they will be soon. So you got to make a choice. Everybody knows that I just moved out here in Hastings. So a little bit of a background story here. I sold my old house and I ended up getting into another house, a new build. And, I love being out here, and I tell you why. For the last decade, and I love coming out here, always coming out here. My mom lives kind of out here a little bit, and you know, I got to get away from the city sometimes to help clear my head. So that's just me. You know, that long drive don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't put a price on any of this. You know, so I like to live way out there. A lot of people refer to me as like a monk, kind of, so to speak. You know. But out here, I found a gym, Other Body Fitness. Their gym is up and coming, and this guy just got his gym up and running right before COVID-19 happened. And let me tell you something. When I say this guy is grinding super hard for his clients, he is really, really trying to keep them happy. He spent this entire COVID-19 redoing the entire gym. Dude had already out of all sorts of money because he can't charge the gym members anything, obviously, because business is shut down. He's losing probably quite a bit, but he still has faith. You know, he still has faith in making sure his gym's going to open, and he believes in that beautiful opening is still going to happen. And, you know, God bless his heart, because, you know, he'll keep pushing for that. You know, I commend him for that. He's doing an awesome job. So he's about 5 minutes away from me. I've been going there quite a bit because it's convenient. Okay. So for the first comers, make sure that you check them out. If you want to stay healthy, there's 3 different types. Okay. There's a little bit of homework for you guys. Okay. And the only homework that you have is figuring out whether if you're an endomorph, mesomorph, or an ectomorph. Okay. This is huge, because this is how I got to understand my body. And this is, I mean, maybe it's not for everybody, but for me, it's what helped me figure out which way I needed to go and what direction that I needed to take, especially when it comes down to course of action, when it comes to that diet and workouts. You know, back when I first started, I was an ectomorph. So I'm going to break down the 3 and understanding the difference between them. Endomorph, you're more of the bigger body build, bigger joints, bigger wrist, you know, a little bit on the slower metabolism side, you know, been a little bit more on the husky side, big, you know, just strong, you know, really hard to lose weight and get shredded though, you know, real hard to lose weight, but you're strong, super strong. Okay. So that's what an endomorph. And then you have the opposite, which is the ectomorph. Ectomorph is when you have a smaller build, but you have an extremely fast metabolism. And this is literally probably about, I want to say 90% of my clients, like when it comes to the gentlemen. You know, the men have that complex where they just want to get big, right? But to understand the ectomorph and the background of it, that you have a fast metabolism, you have a high metabolic rate, so you burn more calories than others. That's a whole nother route, and you got to really bring your A game, because it's hard to climb back the other way when you're an ectomorph. So, you know, so understand that. And the middle one, which is the mesomorph. Okay, mesomorph is kind of like on the athletic side, you know what I mean? Can gain weight, can get overweight, but can easily drop it. You know, that athletic ability guy that's just well-rounded and fit, not too skinny, not too big, and you know, he's just really, really agile. You know, just really, really lean sometimes, but not super skinny. There's a difference between being lean and skinny. Okay, but being lean, they have a good weight on them. You know what I mean? And that's the mesomorph. It's like the medium in between. So they're more open to diets and things like that that will gear them to what they want to look like. They have it probably the easiest because those guys can do either or. They can swing it both ways, you know what I mean? So those are the 3 different types of body types. What body type are you? Please figure that out. That's your homework for today, is figuring out what body type are you, because then after that, I can answer those questions. Once you realize what body type that you are, then you know the right questions to ask me. You know the right questions to ask others. So it's really important. So that's your only homework, okay? Ready to get back in shape, get back on our routine. When you get back, take it easy for those big guys. And for those women, make sure that you supplement the body well. Just because you're, you know, ladies, you need supplementation too. You need good diets, okay? Diets are going to be always 90%. For big guys, small guys, women on the bigger side, women that are a little bit skinnier, make sure that you understand that, okay? And figure out what body type that you are, okay? So next video, we'll kind of start our segue into the actual workout. I will start recording my workouts to try to give you guys like a little bit of a example of how workouts should come into play and how hard you should be really going. And I'll tell you how I feel through my workouts too. So that way, you know, you kind of can look for the same message that your body may be trying to signify to you to either slow down or proceed ahead, okay? Again, get back to me, do your homework, and you know, it's gonna be a great time. So tune back in, okay?